Meet Eric Koch, or Koch is how I think you're supposed to say it. But this fucking cocksucker, what a fucking great human being this guy was, huh? How would you like, after your death, to have your picture plastered up on Wikipedia with these words right under it? Leader, Adolf Hitler. Wow, what an amazing life this guy led. Wouldn't you want to be just like him? Following Hitler. And he was the Reichskommissar of the Ukraine. Basically, Reichskommissar of the East. That's what Ostland, Eastland. Right under Hitler. In Mein Kampf, Hitler says his goal is to go into the Ukraine, Russia, the Baltic states, commit genocide, and move German settlers in. That was his plan, to expand the territory of German-speaking people and turn Germany into, an even greater superpower than it was at the time. That was his goal, and this guy, Eric Koch, was happy to oblige. And let's see, what did he do? What was his life all about? Let's see. Koch's first act as Reichskommissar was to close local schools, declaring that Ukraine children need no schools. What they'll have to learn will be taught them by their German masters. Here's another gem of a quote from this great man. If I meet a Ukrainian worthy of being seated at my table, I must have him shot. Which just goes to show you, these guys, they'll say, and others like them, they'll say, these guys are stupid. The Ukrainians just don't know anything. They're just genetically inferior. But they go out of their way to kill anyone that would be worthy. If they found an Einstein among the Ukrainians, he would shoot him, and he says as much. They want to make a stupid underclass. Okay? That is why the great mass of society is uneducated and misinformed. But why are we quoting Hitler's lieutenants? We can quote Hitler himself. Let's see what he thinks about stupidity and ignorance. All propaganda has to be popular and has to accommodate itself to the comprehension of the least intelligent of those whom it seeks to reach. By the skillful and sustained use of propaganda, one can make a people see even heaven as hell, or an extremely wretched life as paradise. Here's a great one. How fortunate for governments that the people they administer don't think. I use emotion for the many and reserve reason for the few. Now here's a brilliant shining gem of wisdom that Adolf Hitler brought into the world to illuminate us all with. I mean, we truly are a much richer civilization for having had Adolf Hitler join our ranks, aren't we? Here's the quote. Universal education is the most corroding and disintegrating poison that liberalism has ever invented for its own destruction. Well, of course, because you can't educate everyone in society if you intend to make the vast majority of society into subservient, malleable, ignorant, mouth-breathing morons. Who can be bossed around at will, who have no knowledge of what you're doing, who have been trained not to care about what you're doing, or what's going on in the society they live in, or how to affect change to make society better. No. We don't want to teach people their history. We don't want to teach people how to think critically. We don't want to teach people to question society or their education or anything. I mean, shit, let's see. What if I go to the History Channel right now here on YouTube? What will play?
Many times in my travels, I have encountered a thing called a bung. Now, what is a bung, you ask? Well, here's one I found at the Tabasco factory in Louisiana.
Okay, now we got to look at the cover, the lid, the bung, and everything to make sure that it doesn't have any cracks. And when
I've never seen a bung without a crack yet, I'll be honest
well,
with you.
if this bung is cracked right here, we have a new bung that we'll take this
So
here
you'll
off,
have to put in there.
and we'll put a new one in.
And that is the bunghole of the barrel.
That's the bunghole of the barrel.
I think I can go ahead and let y'all make your own jokes at this time. Give him a couple of minutes. That feller Hamilton showed me how to remove the bung, look at that, and then reseal the bunghole with wax and a blowtorch. We're putting wax on the bung, which is illegal, by the way, in some states. A lot of people don't know this. Then I went to a fish hatchery in Iowa, and looky what I found. So now what are we doing here, Sean?
All right, Larry, the truck's sitting outside, ready to go. The tube's in, and we're going to pull the bung.
You gonna do what again?
Pull the bung plug.
I didn't say nothing. See, they always give me flack. I didn't say you're the one talking about pulling bungs. Let me take my coat off.
I didn't know if you were sleeveless or not. You had
I
your
am,
coat on
yeah.
the whole
Well,
time.
I said, what's the one thing that we're gonna do today? They said, you're gonna be pulling bungs. And I said, let me put on a sleeveless.
There you go.
Because you don't want to pull bungs with sleeves. Now, where's the bung?
The bung is down in the bottom.
Well, that's where you normally would expect it to be.
Stick that down in there. Take the T-handle,
Okay.
two-handed, pull straight up.
We are now pulling the bung.
Don't go down the drain.
Look at that. There we got it. That's the bung. And of course, this is covering the hole, the bung hole. Did you know that the phrase bunghole is in Shakespeare? I ain't kidding. When Hamlet had that skull, he said this. Let me read from Shakespeare. To what base uses we may return, Horatio? Why, may not imagination trace the nobile dust of Alexander till he find it stopping a bunghole? Then Horatio says, 'Twere to consider too curiously to consider so. I agree with Horatio. Now, let me ask you something. Why is it called a bung? Is that the actual name? Do fisheries all over the world say, hey, let's get a tank with a bung?
They use the bungs to plug the bung hole.
Right, but that's called well, wait a minute, is this a bung?
It is.
Well, why is that called a bung hole?
In other terms, you could call that the drain. That's the drain plug.
But is that the scientific term, or is somebody being funny? Is there really a reason why they call it that? Is that the technical term, or that's just what they call it since it's the...
It's just one of those things, you just hear it and you repeat it.
Okay, folks, I done Googled the old bung. Bung is a word that means stopper. That's all it is. It's an old English word meaning stopper. A bung is a stopper. Ta-da!
Wow. I learned a lot, I guess. I mean, anytime we can get Larry the Cable Guy to come on the History Channel and make jokes about bungholes and to, mock Shakespeare, mock history on the History Channel, that is a brilliant day. And the fact that the History Channel put that as the main video on their channel, and it automatically plays when you load their channel. Like, that shows, like, they think that's what you need to know. Bungholes. And why? Because Ukrainian children need no schools. Anything they might need to learn will be taught them by their German masters. Do you see how it connects? Do you see how you're made to be stupid? Do you see that we live in a society where it is a revolutionary act to know things, to learn things, to study things? They could... the History Channel's main channel video should be something about, hey, the Roman Caesars used to take 1 ounce gold coins, put 0.95 ounces of gold in them, and then dictate by law that people had to accept those coins as if they were worth 1 ounce of gold. It was the original inflation. And then they came up later on, many centuries later, they came up with a derivative called paper currency. And now we have derivatives of derivatives of derivatives. Okay? We could learn about our past and how we got here. We could learn about the fact that inflation is an unnecessary tax upon the population to pad the wallets of wealthy, powerful financiers and politicians. We could be learning how inflation leaches wealth. It leaches productive power from wage earners and transfers it to large holders of assets. It's neo-feudalism. It ensures that those who were born wealthy will always retain an advantage. Because a wage earner who works for paper money is constantly falling behind. When I first started driving, gas was only a little bit over $1. Now it's almost $5. It wasn't even that long ago when a gallon of gasoline cost 25 cents. I don't think you need me to tell you that your wages are not rising that quickly. And that's why inflation hurts you at the bottom and benefits those at the top. If you're an oil investor, the barrel price of oil going up year after year is a great thing for you. The ounce price of gold going up year after year is a great thing for you because you have money. You can invest in those assets. And not only will those assets rise and keep value with inflation, but oftentimes those assets will go higher. They'll rise faster than inflation because there's a panic. Once everyone realizes what's going on, they all want to buy assets. They want to get out of dollars and into hard assets. So if you already owned the assets before the panic, you can wait until there's a fever pitch and then sell into the panic. You can buy cheap and sell dear, as the old saying goes. But who am I kidding? And no one wants to learn anything about that crap. I mean, it's not like you could actually put that knowledge to use in your own life and make money. It's not like you could use your knowledge to better your own life. No. Intelligence is worthless. Being smart is stupid. Okay? We just need to go back and, listen to Larry the Cable Guy and learn about bungholes.